Hello, everyone, and welcome. We are absolutely excited to have you joining us today. So, let me kick things off with a quick question, and feel free to drop a yes on the chatter or comment box if you think that it's familiar. Have you ever felt like you are working for your business software instead of it working for you? So, feel free to drop a yes on the chatter and answer this question. Don't be shy. Have you ever felt like you are working for your business software instead of it working for you? That's a long yes. Okay. All right. So I am seeing those yeses coming in. And honestly, we've all been there, right? Like dealing with messy spreadsheets, chasing approvals or dealing with inefficient software and trying to follow the rules with LHT and tax rules. It's very tiring, it's very exhausting, and it takes you away from what you actually want to do, which is to grow your business. And this is exactly why we are here today. I am Jonar Arimado, key partner manager here based in Odoo, Hong Kong, and I'm very, very honored to have our special speaker today with me, Tengku Farid, the CEO of Wiz Asia. Hi, Tengku. Good
Hi,
afternoon.
hello, John. Thank
Thank
you
you
for having us.
for thank you as well for coming in today. I know you're very busy, dealing with our clients, and we've prepared a lot of things for our audience today. As a trusted and authorized Odoo official partner, Wiz Asia is completely changing the landscape and game of for SMEs and forward-thinking companies. They don't just implement cloud ERP systems, specifically Odoo. They really make sure that it simplifies the processes. They will ultimately help businesses to make their ERP talk back. Today, you are going to discover how Wiz Asia takes the headache out of digital transformation. They will help you unify your sales, your accounting, your inventory, and HR into one powerful platform. So grab your notebook, get comfortable, and get ready to see the future of business operations in action. Just to share the agenda for today's session, we'll start with first where Malaysia's e-invoicing mandate actually stands this year in 2026. What are the current exact deadlines for the businesses per revenue bracket? And then next one, we'll have the business challenges of the companies in dealing with all this compliance. We'll also have a demo prepared by Tanku for the MyInvoice using Odoo so that you can see how Odoo system can really work and help you with your processes. And also, we'll be discussing the three-step path to go live. We will have a walkthrough of the critical steps we need to take now to ensure we are running on a compliant system before the deadline hits. And then, of course, for all the business owners or key decision makers here today, I'm pretty sure they want to see the direct outcomes or changes once we fully implement the system for their business. And then lastly, of course, we'll have some time to answer some questions from the audience. We want this session to be really engaging. So please feel free to drop your questions on the chatter or comment box, and we will try to answer them later as many questions as possible. All right, but before we proceed with the actual meat of our webinar session today, let me quickly introduce Odoo to those who don't have any idea what Odoo is as a company or as a software. The power of Odoo. So as you can see here on the slide, this is how it looks like once you have access to the system. Basically, Odoo is an all-in-one management software that is very beautiful and very easy to use. And our main vision and mission is to really help companies grow. And it's very much aligned with the thinking of our CEO and founder, Fabian Pinkers. Just to share some numbers or key figures for Odoo in terms of our global presence. So right now we have around 20 offices worldwide. And as mentioned a while ago, our office for APAC is based here in Hong Kong. And recently we opened offices in Indo, in the Philippines, and also Australia. And also right now, as mentioned, Wiz Asia is part of this growing partner network. So right now we have around 16,000 partners globally. And we are catering to 16 million happy users worldwide as well. That's around 170k customers globally. So as you can see here, as mentioned a while ago, Odoo is really covering business processes from start to finish. It really covers sales. So you have like CRM, sales app, subscription, etc. And also for marketing, you can also do that in Odoo. Um, Even with operation and HR, like payroll, time off, you can do that. And one good thing about Odoo, or what we really take pride in, is also how customizable or scalable it is. Now, as you can see here, these are actually some of the most common single-purpose software. So we have here like some for scheduling, for sales, for accounting, and those lines actually that you can see here, it means that you have to exert effort and time and additional costs to integrate them with one another because they're not naturally in one single platform. On the other hand, as you can see on the on the right side of the screen here, Odoo is an all-in-one management software, which is already covering end-to-end. So from inventory, manufacturing, e-commerce, marketing, CRM, sales, purchase, it's all in one centralized platform. Another thing that we really take pride in Odoo is how user friendly it is. I think that's also one of the main reasons why most of the customers are happy with the system. So as you can see here, Odoo is on the first quadrant here, meaning we have a very high rating in terms of business scope first, and in terms of the user friendliness, comparing it with other systems that are currently available in the market. Now for Malaysia market, let's take some slides here. Let's look at some slides here. So these are some states or territories in Malaysia, and these are some of the industries that are most um, common in the market right now. And to share this, as you can see, in terms of the national e-invoicing mandate, right? Malaysia is really mandating my invoice invoicing, meaning any enterprise software without direct LHDN API integration will soon be obsolete. So fortunately, Odoo features native Malaysian localization out of the box to comply with these rules. Plus, your clients can leverage government digital grants like MDEC Matching Fund to help finance the implementation. In terms of the industry performance for Odoo in Malaysia, so these are actually some of the top industries right now, meaning these are the industries that we're catering to or help in terms of like the digital transformation journey. So we have wholesale, retail, manufacturing, IT services, F&B as well, and hospitality. And then in terms of like the emerging industries, we have construction, service, healthcare, welfare, social welfare, sorry, and utility and energy supply. Okay, just to share some of this, I'm pretty sure you're very familiar with this logos or brands. It's actually a mix of micro to small to large enterprises, and also in terms of like the industries. So as you can see here, we have F&B, we have we have some manufacturing companies here as well, and retail, trading, distribution. So it's a mix of micro to large enterprises and also like different industries. Okay. Okay, going back to the meat of our discussion today. So in this session, Wiz Asia will show you what full compliance actually looks like inside Odoo, including how the AI generated or integrated platform handles the 10K rule, automated submissions, and audit trail logging. All right, thank you. Thank you. Hi. Let's
Hi,
start
John.
with the discussion today. So I'm pretty sure most of our attendees today are asking this because the e-invoicing deadlines actually have been pushed back a few times. So what are the current exact deadlines for Malaysian businesses revenue bracket, and who is still really exempted?
Well, I think, yeah, I think this slide really tells the full picture. we must remember that the deadlines has been moved many times. I think a
Yes.
lot of the community and SMEs were really prepared to actually do this. And I remember when we first implemented SST, it was
Mhm,
really a challenge too. But anyways, I mean, I think it started with obviously with this year. Sorry, with last year with the 5 million to 25 million
mhm,
bracket already running through, and I think that was a very good proof in the pudding case that actually allowed the community to actually implement and understand the regulations and how to ensure that they are complying with this e-invoicing compliance. So it started with the 5 million to 25 million revenue bracket, and it
mhm.
started in July 2025. So there's no relaxation for this. Everybody has to comply, or else you get fined. But this coming year, it started in January 2026. Even for us, we've already commenced our e-invoicing,
Mhm.
and we've got up to the end of this year. So so many companies we always advise them. We're in what, coming to July now. Don't think that things will be. You've got another 6 months because think time will fly very fast, especially with Malaysia with so many holidays.
Yeah. Mhm.
So, so we gotta be prepared for this December 31st because the fine is really hefty. Now, well, obviously, anything that's below 1 million is exempted. It used to be 500,000 before, so they've increased the exemption limit to be higher. So it was a bit of relief to many SMEs. So that's kind of good. And obviously, everybody's got to be aware of this 10,000 ringgit
Mhm.
rule, which I think we've got some slides on this, and we'll basically elaborate a bit more on this matter. But what it means that you need to submit all invoices that you are sending to your customer to Lembaga Hasil. And your customer who receive your bills correspondingly will also have to show inside the e-invoicing portal. So it's a
Right.
two-way thing.
Mhm.
There's a matching. So if I'm invoicing to a customer, the customer receives a bill, and it's also registered the e-invoicing portal in by the revenue department.
Okay, okay. So just to clarify, so for the 10K rule, it really applies to everyone, right? I mean, once you have like 10K invoice and above, you're already not exempted, right?
Yes, not exempted, but the as long as you need to have the my invoice
Mm-hmm.
registration. If you're 1 million, it's not needed. If you're below 1 million, it's not needed. Right? So, but what happens with the 10,000 rule is that you have to submit immediately, rather than
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
consolidating it at the end of the month.
Got this. Got this.
Okay.
So I think another thing that I think most of the audience here today are really curious about. So, is the relaxation period truly safe for the 5 million and below businesses? Can they really relax for now? I think that's the main question that they're thinking of.
Well, being Malaysians, we tend to do everything last minute.
Mm-hmm.
So let's not try to be too Malaysian because the cost is a lot. And we have to remember again, we have to repeat this again because very well, when we implement invoicing, we keep reminding our customers about this 10,000 ringgit blind spot, and that's how we ensure that this is automated and there's nobody forgetting inside our customers' processes and internal team to forget about this because we don't want our customers to be fined. But you basically have to submit any invoices or bills to ensure that anything that's above 10,000 ringgit goes immediately into the Lembaga Hasil portal. And this window is closing, so we're coming to Q2, 3 already. And as you know, when it comes to Q4, everything is going to be very busy, especially the vendors and so on. So So this is very important to ensure that customers and implementation is done within this quarter, this coming quarter Q3, rather than waiting to Q4. We see that there's always this problem about rejected invoices, and without
Mm-hmm.
a proper system, uh, you tend to uh, miss this out where you think that your tax and identification number is correct or the SST number is correct, where in fact it is not valid, and therefore you miss this out. So having a system that alerts you of this issue immediately tells you basically that everything is done. So, but if you done it manually, you have to every time you submit this invoice to the tax department, you have to always make this done on a regular basis, and you can make a mistake because the number is a long number, right? And then if that happens, the your payment may not be processed by your customer, especially if your customers are large organizations or GLCs, because it doesn't appear on the My portal, and that can drag payment collection to much later within standards and affect the cash flow. So very important. This
Mm-hmm.
means that when you do manually, you can't scale. You have a lot of invoices. You have validation errors and problem. And what's very important is that when you get audited, there's a lot of work to actually getting all these manual documents up and running and submitting to the tax department. But if you have a system like Odoo, everything is all inside one place. There's one source of truth, and you are able to extract the reporting and pass it to Lembaga Hasil.
Right. Thank you for that explanation. So, from your explanation, thank you. I got that a single sale, purchase or service transaction of 10K or above, it actually requires an immediate individual e-invoice validated by LHTN. And also, just to reiterate or highlight that the relaxation period is actually their time. I mean, for the businesses to act and start now. Start consulting with the expert to really know how to start. And that is why Thanku actually prepared a demo for us today, so that we can really see how Odoo works and help our businesses. Okay, let's start with this prepared demo. Okay.
Yeah. So remember, this is just default Odoo only, right? So
Mhm.
here, when you actually select customer, it propagates the information immediately, right? So you don't need to manually enter. And when you put a product, everything, all the product is actually classified accordingly according to Malaysian classification tax, and everything is actually automated. There's no room for mistakes, and you just submit, send to invoice. And when you let's just wait for it to load. What happens is that okay, so you can print the invoice and send it to your customer. And as you can see, if you open up the PDF document already, that's this QR code that your customer can actually scan. And when the customer scans this, right,
Mhm.
and the customer will see this in the My Invoice portal, it appears in the My Invoice portal, and basically, it's validated already. So you can see it's very much easy and is automated and instantaneous. Now, we sometimes in the retail side you have the POS. So when you actually select item, um, and let's give this is an example of a item that is going to be above 10,000 ringgit, right? So if, must be really expensive items that's been purchased here. So it's gone about 25,000. And once you select the customer information at the POS, and this is Odoo POS, ladies and gentlemen, so
Yeah.
it's very
Mhm.
so it's noting that it's above 10,000 ringgit. And once you register this in the POS, you will see that this is totally integrated or automated. Let's just give a few minutes for it to load. Okay. And we'll go to the back end of the Odoo system. and we'll see the orders, and you see the 25,000 ringgit order, okay? And we'll click on the button where it relates to the invoice, and we can see it, my invoice is already validated. So immediately, you don't have this mistake of, oops, and we forgot to submit this 10,000 ringgit invoice and we get fined. So immediately it's submitted. So this is automated within the system, right? Now here is the My Invoice portal. It's also validated inside the portal by the government portal itself. Already. So there's nothing in between. It goes right in, straight into the government system immediately.
Hmm.
And this is done by Odoo itself on the integration. Now here's an example of a normal POS transaction that's below 10,000 ringgit. Okay, so we're paying by cash and we register. So here we are consolidating all the invoices of all the POS
Hmm.
items. Let's close the register system for the POS first. Okay, and this is the step just to consolidate all invoices at the end. So you click on consolidate invoice, you select the date in which you want the invoice to be consolidated. So here we go from June 1st to the 15th, and it's consolidated, and you can basically see the particular invoice, right? Go back to the draft and submit to my invoice. Okay, so just wait for loading. Done. You can now check at the My Invoice portal. Okay, so you can see that this is a consolidated invoice with no information of particular customer. And basically, this is the list of the invoice. This is just one, in this example, is just one particular order. So the name is general public because there's no particular customers. So when you're doing a lot of retail customers, you can consolidate. It's just a matter of selecting the invoices and submitting to the My Invoice portal in Lembaga Hasil. Very easy, right?
Right. It's really, really amazing. As you can see, it's already like consolidated and it's already linked to the actual portal, and you can check if it's been already validated. So this is something that process owners, especially under the finance or accounting team, are really looking for. There's actually another thing that Tanku wants to show us today, which is what they call Emma. Tanku, would you like to introduce us to Emma?
Yeah, thanks. So this is what we've built on top of Odoo. This is
Mm-hmm,
our specialization. We have our own AI agents that sits on Odoo. So Odoo helps customers with guiding. So sorry, not this Odoo helper. This is our Emma.
mm-hmm,
So it's totally integrated with WhatsApp. So you can just chat at this particular number, Emma's number. And Emma is an AI agent that will basically cover all the information that you need to know regarding My Invoice, and then provides this information to you.
mm-hmm.
Um, we'll share this number later on, and there's a QR code that everybody can scan. But have a chat with Emma, and if you have any, you know, issues or clarifications needed, Emma is able to basically answer your question. And what happens next is that Emma will actually give you a link. Should you want to have an online consultation that's totally free, uh,
Mm-hmm.
you can click the link, and we can set up the appointment online for you to actually meet our subject matter experts in invoicing. So I think you know here in this case, this example, we ask a question whether what's the mandate about e-invoicing. So it's giving you different phasing schemes, right? And
So
different
Tenku
issues.
question, so this is something that already linked to Odoo's backend, right?
Yes, correct. Yeah, we've
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
already linked to this backend, and the information that we basically taught Emma to how to answer is
mm-hmm.
all regulated information that's been given by the government. So sometimes,
Yeah,
going to the website, to the
actually,
government site, maybe complicated and you can't find the information. But
You're
here
right.
you just ask the question, Emma is able to actually answer you.
Yeah, actually, just to add, I think seeing this, it really shows that Odoo is very customizable and you can really build on top of it. So this is another, powerful feature that Odoo showcases.
Yes, correct.
Mhm.
Very easy to integrate with Odoo.
And also, I think this is like a free consultation via WhatsApp, since Tanku mentioned that you can ask Emma about the period and what to be done, like the next steps to really start with the digital transformation journey of your company. So this is like consider it as a free consultation via WhatsApp that's already built by Wiz Asia's team.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Yeah. This is actually the WhatsApp number of Emma, which is Emma. So please feel free to try it right now and start chatting with Emma. Ask her some questions or anything in terms of like the compliances. Okay. Please feel free to save it as well. This number. Okay. Another interesting feature within Odoo that Tanku and his team actually built to really ensure that you guide your clients through every step of the way is the Odoo helper. So, would you like to elaborate on this one or dig deeper on this one, Tanku?
Yes. A lot of our customers who have wanting e-invoicing to be implemented
Mm-hmm,
forget there's actually an initial step. That is to register themselves at the MyInvoice portal under Lembaga Hasil. So
mm-hmm,
because we are an AI company, we've built an AI Odoo helper to actually guide step by step guide to
mm-hmm.
help our clients to actually set it up for them. Right. So let's show this demo.
Let's see this here. Okay.
So here you just have to click the Odoo AI Odoo helper, and you basically create a new conversation. Share your screen because the Odoo helper is going to basically see your
Hi,
screen
can you guide me
and
on
give
the
you
My
a
Text
step-by-step
registration
guide.
on LHDN website?
I can help with that. To start, please click the e-Daftar button in the middle of the page. You should see a new form pop up.
Now, can you tell me the steps for the My Text registration?
First, you'll need to choose the type of taxpayer from the drop-down menu. Since you're registering for a sole proprietorship, a notification popped up asking you to choose with employees or no employees. Select the correct one for your business.
Now I'm on this screen, so which one should I choose? Let's say if I'm registering for a company.
Got it. If you're registering a company, you'll need to select Company from the Type of Taxpayer dropdown. Then enter your company's email, phone number, and the security phrase.
Will that be all after the security phrase?
After entering the security phrase, click the blue search button. That should take you to the next step for verification.
Wow,
So
that's
the
really amazing. It's voice activated already, and you
yes,
can like get direct help, just by telling what your questions are or your help needed.
this is good for SMEs where a lot of SMEs may not have the technical team
Yeah.
to actually assist them. So by talking and just having a audio conversation with the AI, it will guide step by step according to
Mm-hmm.
what is shown on the person's screen. So this is not just for
Right.
invoicing. You can use it for Odoo itself. For example, how do
Mm-hmm.
I create
Mm-hmm.
an invoice or how do I apply for a leave? So all these things is actually embedded already. and Emma actually knows how to actually guide a person, a user, on how to use Odoo.
Great. So you've already shown us the powerful capabilities of first the My Invoice within Odoo, also Emma's functionalities, and lastly Odoo Helper, wherein you can ask your questions or help needed. All of these are actually built already within Odoo. So perhaps you would like to explain further or elaborate on what Wiz Asia can offer, especially after the relaxation period ends.
Well, okay. I think let's just recap also. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
uh,
more of a
yeah,
recap actually.
yes, yeah. So remember this 10,000 ringgit rule, okay? And when we do the configuration to our customer, this is very important that we configure it so that it's automatically done. So and then we have this ready template that is complying to Internal Revenue in Malaysia, and all the TIN or the QR codes, and the SST coverage is already there. Okay. We basically also teach and onboard people about the consolidated invoicing because that's very important. And many organizations do not have the big invoicing. Customers purchase 20 ringgit, 30 ringgit. So this is very important. And we basically help customers about getting configured to the API.
Hmm.
And as I've shown you through the Odoo helper, this can be done by using AI to actually guide the person. Well, the other important thing is a full audit trail because you need to have a record where the things are paid,
Right.
not paid, any errors, and so on, right? And also teaching people about how about credit notes and invoices. AI assisted error prevention. This is what we actually are specializing in. So where we automate and making sure that all your TIN and SSTs are actually not being invalid and creating errors, and you miss your due dates to actually just submit your invoicing. So
Hmm.
these are all the things that's very important how actually Odoo handles and how Wiz Asia handles customer implementation.
Okay. Another thing that I think some of our audience here are asking, for the smaller sub 10K transaction during the relaxation period, how does Odoo manage the administrative load? Can you show us like the feature or explain the feature that batches and submits consolidated monthly invoicing using the latest Malaysia ready templates aligned to the IRPM guidelines version 4.6?
Okay, basically the ready templates are really templates that matches your product according to the tax codes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we will actually configure that and assist your configuration into that. But what's most important is this consolidated monthly invoicing. So
Right.
instead of
Mm-hmm.
invoicing, compiling documents manually, it's just a matter of selecting all these invoices according to the period and basically submitting in one batch. Yeah. So it's a monthly submission at the end of the month, most likely done, and with the ready templates, and all the information is covered, and it will be instantaneously submitted into Lembaga Hasil. So there's no remapping, no changing a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Where you have products, you have to change the name of the product just to comply. Actually, it's not like that. We can maintain the name. All we have to do is just map that Lembaga Hasil coding to your product. So
Mm-hmm.
this will actually reduce the burden of doing a lot of administrative work just to implement e-invoicing.
Yeah, just to highlight from the explanation of Tanku, so no separate portal login, no data export, because invoices are created and submitted already to LHTN from inside Odoo. So, and also the validation response comes back into the same system.
Correct.
So next one here, maybe some of our attendees today here are still wondering, like in terms of like the error prevention, how does your promise AI assisted error prevention work before submission, and how is it smart enough to flag an issue like an incorrect SST code or a missing UIN structure which LHDN would otherwise reject?
Okay, so in the manual process, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have a system, or you do not have an accounting system that integrates with Lembaga Hasil. Every submission you do, either it's consolidated or anything that's above 10,000 ringgit, you have to manually enter your TIN number and SST. And these are the common errors that customers get,
Mm-hmm.
because it can be human error and it gets rejected. And sometimes you do not know whether it's rejected or passed, right? So what Odoo does is that you just have to make sure that you enter your SST and your TIN number one time only, and it's validated and checked. And once it's validated and checked, you don't need to do anything anymore, because
Mm-hmm.
when you submit your invoices, the system will actually take that validated TIN and SST number and pass it to Lembaga Hasil. There's no repeating again. So that's everything automatic. All you have to do, as I shown in the demo, select the customer, select the product, submit. That's done. You have just a three-step process. Where the manual process is that you have to actually manually enter your SST and your TIN number, and that is always the case. The error comes out, and you need to go to the MyTax portal to actually check whether it was validated properly, or there's been some issues in validation, right? So that's another step you have there. So here in Odoo, you actually know immediately whether it goes through or not. Right? So the payoff is fewer rejections, lesser work, is much more cleaner, and you don't get fined. That's the most
Mm-hmm.
important.
I think that's really something that's really important to our business owners or key decision makers, in terms of like the error prevention and also in terms of the audit trail, right? Yeah, so we've already shown our audience a lot of powerful capabilities and features of everything that we've built so far within Odoo, to help them have a seamless digital transformation journey. So I guess the main question right now of our attendees: where do they start? So how can Wiz Asia help them step by step?
Okay, number one, the simplest way, remember the roadmap on 31st December. Start now, don't wait for the last quarter. What we'll do
Right.
basically is that we actually do this mapping for you, where we product map your product to the particular tax codes, and we do the configuration and setup, making sure that everything is set up, especially your SST and your TIN number, right? And then also guiding you to set up for the My Tax portal registration. After
Mhm.
that is done, you're live actually. It only takes about 1 day for us to do this. After this onboarding, we basically train your team to make sure do this correctly. How to do
Mhm.
consolidated invoicing submission, how to ensure the 10,000 ringgit validation is done properly, and checking on it. So that, and then you go and live. And after that, obviously, we provide free help desk and support. So anytime you have issues, you can always raise your hand or give us a shout to help at through our support channels, and we'll be able to actually assist you on any problems that you have. So after onboarding going live, there's a lot of things to actually do to make sure that you are successful in this implementation.
Yeah, the key point here, I believe, is that they really have to act now and start consulting with the experts like Tanku's team, like Wiz Asia, because it's really already straightforward. Since almost all of the groundwork is already done, they just have to pull the trigger to keep it running. And you presented Odoo, Tanku presented Emma, as as shown. You can start with your consultation with us, with them, and also start booking your appointments with Wiz Asia. And so, having said this, maybe some of our business owners or key decision makers here today are wondering or asking, like, what specific operational shifts should companies anticipate, and how do the resulting outcomes influence their day-to-day business activities?
Sorry, is that the question that came up?
Yes. What operational shifts should companies expect after the implementation, and how do those changes show up in their day to day?
Actually, from our experience, there's not much changes to what people are doing immediately. It's just learning on how to use Odoo to submit invoices.
Hmm.
It's just one extra step where you click the button submit to e-invoices. So it's pretty easy, actually. And what we want to design something that there's very little disruption as possible to the current operation steps.
Got it. Got it. So I think the key takeaways here on the slide that you can see on the screen is that the team doesn't need to manually track which transactions require individual e-invoices. And second one, I think if they start as soon as possible, no emergency implementation, no rush migration. And lastly, it's very audit ready, since every invoice validated and it's very traceable, and no scramble when LHTN asks.
Correct. Because you
All
know
right,
what?
I think that's it.
There's a funny thing that happened with that. You know,
Mhm. Yeah.
uh, every time you get a call from a Marga Hasil, everybody gets panicky, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, so you don't want to get that call.
Right, right, right. I think that's what they really want to avoid. Yeah. Okay. I think we have now the time for Q&A. We can answer some questions now from the chat box. Let's
Okay.
start checking the questions now. I'm just trying to read through the questions here. First one, is there a trial account we can try on the e-invoice feature in Odoo? Thank you.
Yes, there is a trial account, just 14 days. And if you connect to us at our website, we'll be able to actually set this up for you. So there's also a sandbox account. So you don't need to register at my tax portal as yet. Sandbox account allows you to play around, getting used to it, and see how easy it is to actually implement my invoice. So that will actually, give you a rundown on the practicality of implementing it in Odoo. So this will actually make it easy for implementation. So 14 days trial is more enough time for you actually to get familiarized with the whole system.
Yeah, it's actually related to the another question here. Do we have sandbox or testing environment for
Yes.
this system? So yes, we have. Okay. Another question here is, who in our organization needs to be in the room to get this moving?
Okay.
I think they're asking about like the management team or key decision makers, or
Okay.
who are like
Mostly
the.
it's the finance team that is always involved, who's
Mhm.
going to basically create the invoice and process the invoice. Sometimes we see people in the procurement side and also the sales side, but the default is always the financial team.
Financial team. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Next question here. How about e-invoice for manual invoices received from overseas vendors?
Okay, so you can do this in what we call consolidated basis. So you can register on consolidated basis for invoices received from overseas. So you can submit that on a monthly basis.
On a monthly basis. Okay. Trying to read through other questions here in the chapter. This one actually is more of like a reiteration of highlighting Emma AI capability. So just now you
Mhm.
mentioned Emma AI can link to Odoo and what benefit it actually brings.
Oh, well, okay. Most AI chatbots is not linked to your operational data.
Mhm,
Let's take, for example, sales, right? If I'm a CEO or I'm in finance or I'm a, CFO of a company, I like to know how many invoices have been paid by my customer, how many outstanding are due, when is it due, right? So before you have to go and run around and find your particular finance person, you can just ask Emma through WhatsApp and will provide this information because it's already integrated into Odoo, and Odoo tells basically identifies which overdue invoices are listed down. And you can ask which customer is it. So these are the information. On the HR side, you can know, because Odoo has an attendance module, you can ask how many people came in late, who's on leave, and if I can apply on leave at this time. Is it allowed that I need to apply the annual leave tomorrow? And
mhm.
probably like in our company, it says no, you have to submit within 3 or 4 days before that. So it'll provide this information to you. So all this is actually integrated on the back end of Odoo. Now we've got a good one of our first customers using Odoo AI, our AI agent through WhatsApp is actually allowing to check on inventory. When customers ask for a particular product like Wagyu steak, it checks in the inventory whether it's available or not and whether there's an offer available or not. So all these things is actually all inside Odoo that the AI agent extracts the information and provide it through the customer just through a WhatsApp. Now, if you don't have an AI agent that does this, right, somebody manually actually has to check at the inventory bag and say whether the product is available or not. So these are the things that it makes it totally seamless with the interaction with the customer, not just customers but internal team members as well.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that, Thanku. Next question here. We're around 3 million revenue and actually our operation still on spreadsheets. Where do we even start?
Well, okay. Spreadsheets are the easiest way to move to a Odoo system. And what's good with Odoo is that one subscription allows you to have multiple systems. Now, this spreadsheet, there's a person who makes it and a person who you need to send it to, right? So this information or data sometimes is sitting on various desks or certain people's computers, which allows for non-sharing of information and data. So what you have to do is that basically the first step is making sure that the data is put inside Odoo. If you're talking about sales, your customer data, how much invoices, this can be easily imported inside Odoo. We just need a CSV file or an Excel file to do it, right? And the template we
Right.
can you and you can actually enter the data, and we actually help you import the data inside Odoo. So it's very easy. So I think Odoo is designed for a lot of customers who are using Excel, and you can actually migrate using Odoo. Now, if you're talking about sales, right? Once you cite the system, the invoice that you click and to create to send to your customer is all inside Odoo itself. And once you create that invoice, it is automatically inside your accounting system, which is Odoo accounting. There's no manual entry anymore. And the boss can see, oh, I've I've invoiced X million of dollars this month. right? So
Mhm.
this is automatically done. Is instant, and there's no manual handling between departments. And when you find that this information is done implemented using Odoo, there's no lesser administrative work, lesser people arguing between each other, okay, because there's no information, and then basically administrative work is lesser, and everybody can go home on time, right? And everybody can actually focus on more value-added things.
Thank you for that. Thank you. And also, I would like to just like comment that thank you very much for all our audience because it's very much, they're very much engaged on the chatter. I can see like some people like replying or answering those questions. Like for example, Roy, thank you for answering Cher's question. So he said that refer to your tax turnover in 2022. If it's 3 million, you were supposed to start in January 2026. So thank you, Roy, for answering that question. So let's take maybe last two questions from the chatter here. I'm actually seeing this one. I think it's very much related to the other question. We do not have an accounting system. All invoices are created from Excel. How do we start with Odoo? I think just to add on to what Tanku has already explained, I think the most important thing right now is to really talk to the experts. I think that's the most important thing as a first step on your digital transformation journey. Of course, we have already built like the system, like some modules, additional modules to help you have a seamless digital transformation journey. You just really have to talk to us so that we can guide you, we can help you on the next steps. Maybe Tenku, you would also want to add to that.
Yes, basically, there's this term called chart of accounts in accounting, right? It's basically how your accounting system is structured. We start with that first,
Right.
and don't worry, because once you activate the site Odoo and you say you're a Malaysian company, there's a standard Malaysian chart of accounts that is already populated inside the system, so you can just use that. So don't worry, just contact Emma, and we'll be able to assist you to do the next steps.
Okay, let's answer one more question. Actually, this one, a quick question: Who to contact for Odoo demo?
Who sorry?
Who to contact for Odoo demo?
Okay, you go to our website, and then there's an appointment menu there. It just clicks an appointment, and our next available person will be able to contact you on the demo. Or you can contact Emma too.
Emma, yeah. I'm just trying to read through some of the questions here. This one. How long does it take to implement this e-invoice feature in Odoo? Can the solution be applied or replicated to countries other than Malaysia?
Uh, okay. How long it will take? The fastest we've done with one customer is an hour and a half. Uh, so it's very quick. The whether it can replicate to the other countries, yes, it can, but we
Mm.
have to make sure the regulation is configured and there's the API integration with the authorities in that particular country. This is very important because it may be able that certain countries authorities are not API ready as yet, so that may be a problem. But then it can be a good problem because there's an opportunity to actually make their system more API friendly. So there's a possibility to do that too.
Right. And also just to add on to that, part of our initiatives actually with Odoo in Odoo is to do localizations per country. So yeah, this is actually can be done or can be replicated to other markets. But yeah, right now we are doing a lot of localizations per market. So that's something that you can also like check. One you can check in our Odoo documentation page to check what are already done per country or per market. All right. I think that's it. We already answered a lot of questions. And again, thank you for all the questions that you sent on the chatter. And thank you also for being engaged and answering some of the questions as well. Right. Maybe last few words, thank you before we end our session today.
Well, thank you very much for everybody who's attended this webinar. Thank you for asking all these questions. And immediately I can see the chatter and discussions that people have been contacting Emma. Here's the QR code. If people want to scan the QR code, they will directly chat with you on with Emma on WhatsApp. But last but not least, I would like to thank you, Udu, John, for the excellent hosting, and the team in Hong Kong for allowing us to basically present West Asia to the public. Thanks again.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time today. I know you're a very, very busy guy, but thank you for all the
No
preparations and
problem.
all
Anytime,
the
anytime.
insights that you've shared today to our audience. And again, you can book your free consultation with Wiz Asia. So you can see the QR code here and also their email address so that you can start your digital transformation journey right now. All right, that brings us to the end of our session today. Thank you all so much for joining us today and for the great questions again. As a quick reminder, the December 31st deadline will be here before we know it. So don't wait until the last minute and these manual errors, rejected invoices or a scramble to get compliant. With Odoo in Biz Asia, you can put your MyInvoice compliance on autopilot. And also on behalf of Thanku, Wiz Asia, and the entire Odoo team, thank you again for your time today. Have a great day.
Thank you, everyone.